I think metal, I would assume, because I'm obviously very metal. I think the idea, these tattoos are fake.
Those are...
These are from a Halloween costume.
Are they
I
really?
couldn't get them off.
They almost look like lesions. I thought that you were...
Lesions?
Yeah, these ones on the side.
Oh, cool. They're open sores. That's what everyone at the gym was looking at. How real does this thing look?
That does look real. I thought...
Right?
I honestly thought you were a tattooed human.
We could talk about that, because my cool factor has exponentially grown since I put these on, and I just feel cooler.
Maybe it's time to make it a real deal.
Maybe it's time to make my mom upset. I think that metal is almost a decision you make. Like something happens, you're like, that's metal, because it's cool feeling. If you come out of it feeling awesome, then you can deem it metal. If you come out of it feeling shitty, it's not metal. Like Coach is not metal, but watching something like exploding something in midair with like a shotgun, that's metal because you did it and it's cool.
Yeah. Or anything going wrong, I think, is metal. Or just it's brutal. I don't know. I in my mind, I see a subsect between. I see a separation between metal and brutality. Brutality is horrible. Metal is cool.
Yeah. Right.
Yeah. Iron Maiden, their album covers are metal.
Yes.
Getting a paper cut is brutal.
Right. Getting a paper cut and then deliberately pouring lemon juice into it just to see if you can withstand it. That's metal.
That is metal.
Okay, so we were talking about the entitlement thing.
Right.
We sort of segued into what's metal and what isn't. But the idea that, I don't even think how we were relating that to what was metal or not. We were talking about airline travel. Entitlement, I think, breeds ignorance and stupidity. And you get to a certain place and we were talking about how everyone just like does stuff for you. I always want to like take people and shake them and be like, look, you were a fucking drug addict that hit it big on like a TV show. And now you've got like people doing everything for you, but lest we forget where you were literally 6 months ago, and now you can't answer your phone. To me, that entitlement. Does that make sense?
It
you know
sounds
people
to me,
like this.
Yeah, but it sounds to me like you're trying to get in touch with some asshole, and they're not doing a good job getting back in touch with you.
It's also an LA thing I've noticed. And I've noticed this with men in particular. The older they get, the more it's okay to be mentally checked out of a process.
Go on.
Okay, so like if you ever dealt with like an executive or someone, and yes, of course it has to do with how important they deem you to be, but even like friends or anything, or just people within your art world, it takes so little to, and this is, I'm not speaking about like a certain thing that happened this morning or anything, but like it takes so little to respond to a text, and someone not responding to you, it's capable of making you feel so monumentally shitty about yourself. Because what someone is basically saying is, you don't count, your time doesn't matter. Me jerking off and being alone is more important than responding to you.
Sometimes jerking, I mean, you have to, I mean, there's a lot of important, I mean, that really does a lot mentally for a person. And, sometimes you don't want to talk to that person unless they've jacked off first.
Are you a good texter? That's hilarious. I need to jerk off first.
Seriously, you're going to get a rageful, irritable person. Give me 5, 15, 25.
Take your 5, take your 30. Take an hour if you are really into tantric jerking off. But I've definitely, you ever like run into someone, you're like, hey, I texted you. They're like, oh, I didn't see it.
By the way, when you said tantric jerking off, I locked eyes with 3 of the guys in the room, and everyone kind of like, we're like, yeah, that kind of exists.
I think it's weird. Stand-up comedy is one of the only, I would say it's the only one, because this is what I do, where regular people feel entitled to tell you how to do your job. Like I would never go up to a doctor and be like, your incisions need to be a little wider. And it's people think, because everyone wants to be a rock star, an athlete, or a stand-up. Or like an actor. Like everyone wants, so they see you doing, they're like, well, I was funny in high school. You know what you should do? And they say it to you. And part of being a stand-up and being smarter than some people at times is withstanding the stupidity-coded arrows that are being fired at you.
You know what I usually do? I just put my hand on their shoulder and I go, you know what you should do? You should really go up on stage and really, really find out how it really feels to bomb in front of a room of your peers. That's what I recommend. You would
say that?
Seriously.
You would touch them?
I hadn't been doing stand-up for a long time, and I, maybe like 2.5, almost 3 years ago, went on stage and did like 25 minutes in Brooklyn to a room of like 250 people. Who had all paid 25 plus for tickets and all that stuff. And I just ate shit to dead silence.
Wow.
And I should have done 5 minutes of old jokes, but what I was doing was exploring and thought, this is what I have to do right now. It was a bomb that was so terrible that, when everyone averts their eyes when you're walking away, And people like, I was just hanging out outside. It was kind of like chilly weather in Brooklyn, and somebody walked up having a smoke, and they're like rolling their eyes, like, and they didn't want to stand next to me.
Like you're a leper. Yeah.
Yeah. I was like, fuck yes. But you know what? Those are the most important times of your life.